it's an official thing that has steps and processes to attaining. Like you don't just, like I said earlier, like you don't just wake up one day and be like, hey, I'm gonna just start recording some stuff and call myself a journalist.
We bringing out the phone.
I gotta look that up. I'm like, what does it take to be a journalist?
We'll be right back.
But even like with all of that, it's just like you can't compare yourself to, somebody who has, X amount of experience doing something and, has made an entire career and a following out of it, and just be like, oh, well, anybody could do that. It's like, well, if anybody could do it, then everybody would.
But you know what's funny? Even the ladies on The View consider themselves like factual.
Not a lot.
Reporting because they got to do all those legal notices so they won't get sued. Do you think journalism?
Got a whole legal team.
But I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But do you think
Goldberg ain't googling up no damn laws or what?
Don Lemon can get sued as an individual for reporting incorrect stuff. The same at The View or any of these other Fox News network. We see Trump. He been suing all these news organizations, and it's just them, inaccurately reporting stuff, but he been winning the cases like $10 million, $4 million,
$25 million.
Like, I'm like, there is some type of like.
Right. You can't just go out and just saying
what it takes. Education and qualifications. One is a bachelor's degree. Most employers require, not necessary, just require a degree in journalism.
What does require mean?
Is that they ask for it? Is it necessity?
It's a synonym. A requirement and necessary is the same thing.
Okay, this requires a degree in journalism, communications, or a related field, whichever that is. Relevant skills coursework should cover reporting, media law, ethics, and research. That's not difficult. Internship, essentially for gaining hands-on experience and making industry connections. Got nothing to do with asking questions. Portfolio is a collection of published work. It's crucial to demonstrate writing style and ability. And student media, working for a school, newspaper, or radio stations help build early experience. None of this is nothing that you can't come by from watching YouTube. Just be honest with you. I was like, if you want to talk about getting a degree in journalism, it's like journalism is going out and asking questions. If you got good writing skills, which it covers here, that means that you're able to communicate and that you're able to go out and ask the permanent questions on a non-biased basis.
Exactly.
But
we can't gloss over the fact that it clearly just said you need a degree and you need a established portfolio of of things leading up.
It says most employers require, most, not all, but most of them require.
Right. So if you try to go to CNN, then you're gonna need it. But if you try to go to Poop Butt newspaper, then you probably not going.
Right.
To.
But
so it's like, what the fuck?
If you go to Poop Butt Network, does that make you any less of a journalist because they didn't ask you your credentials?
It depends on the credibility and the standing of that network or whatever it is.
Okay. Well, Poop Butt we never heard of. We don't watch it, but they give you a journalism tag. Now you're a journalist because you work for a Poop Butt Network.
Yeah, but are you going to be okay? You can walk around with this badge and say, "Hey, I'm a journalist for Poop Butt Network." Let's see how much access that gets you. It's just like, hey, okay, what is your credentials and your history? And
now it's not. You're not basing anything off of actual talent and skill. You just basing it off of what I was like. Because I watch plenty of CNN, and I can tell you that shit is not journalism. So I was like, you can see it with a CNN badge. You probably better off with the Poop Butt Network guy. That's just like and1 and NBA players. It's like I know plenty of and1 players that are smoke NBA players, but you don't watch and1 anymore.
That's separate.
I think
it's kind of like the same. It's kind of like the same game.
I think those press badges be BS because I have gotten into some concerts and conferences or like Comic-Cons and stuff with a press badge just because I applied online super early and said I'm with such and such. All I got to do is just say, hey, I even put my job down one time, like, I ain't gonna say what my job is, and you get a press badge. You can get a press badge pretty easy at that timing. It can happen. But I don't know. I mean, are y'all gonna keep battling?
No. That wasn't a battle. That was it. This is facts over feelings. That's all.
Right. So you need degrees some kind of.
I thought y'all finna throw some money down. Need degrees. It's a requirement.
Man,
you can work for Poop Butt Network without a degree, and it doesn't take a mastermind for How long does it take for a bachelor's? What is it? 4 years? 2
You
years?
can do it online.
Yeah,
You can do journalism online
All right,
while
so you
you're
can
getting your
either get an
bachelor's.
online degree, be like, what's that dude named Richie, whatever, and get like 12 of them from overseas. I like, nah, that dude, he's a
talking about fraud.
surgeon, yeah. Okay.
That's different.
So it's like Don Lemon's not a fraud. It's like this dude. As a matter of fact, before we get out of here, pull up anything journalistic that was on point that Don Lemon did so that I can watch it. I'm not saying that it didn't happen. I just want to look at something that, hey, Don Lemon did this and said that, and I want to look at it so I can be like, okay, that was some honest journalism versus everything being about races and about Trump and how, it's bad being black and gay. I was like, so.
I mean, who knows? You got 20, 30 years worth of stuff. So have
here's
fun going through that and trying to find something.
Here's a good one. So would you consider that little kid that went through Minnesota a journalist? The Nick, the guy that
Nick, you talking about Nick Flint?
the dude that was in Minnesota that busted out all the daycare centers. Nick something, I forgot it.
No idea.
The guy that exposed the Leering Center.
I don't know who he is.
I mean, I know he got a YouTube. That's all they really care about nowadays. Can you pull numbers? Can you get numbers?
Oh yeah, exactly. But would you consider that journalism? If you to go out and like this kid did, he hit the streets, he asked all the right questions, he went to the locations, he did everything that the regular media wouldn't do because they was claiming nothing was happening. But he goes out and busts this huge story that now led to like state to state to state. Now, would you consider him a journalist? And he has absolutely no skill. He had a camera.
I have
and
no
some
idea.
questions.
Like I said, I have no
So
idea.
this kid, he went to Minnesota doing the fraud cases, and while everybody was talking about there's no fraud, he went and uncovered like millions and millions. He's the one that started everything in, well, it wasn't him just alone, but it was another guy that went and kicked off all this fraud cases, and now it's spread it to Ohio, it's in California, New York, Maine, Illinois. So now it's spread out all over the place because this one kid with no media degree, no journalistic background, went out and asked all the right questions and got people busted. So would that consider him as a journalist?
I mean,
No.
What does that consider?
That is,
I would consider him a concerned citizen that wants to expose corruption in the government.
Is that not doing journalistic work?
I feel like the actions that he's done and things that would be considered, journalistic, investigation, absolutely. But that doesn't make him a journalist. It might be no different than somebody going out and going to the gym and learning how to eat right, and then all of a sudden they call themselves a nutritionist or a nutrition expert,
I guess, a
personal trainer and all that stuff. Like, yeah, just because you do something, that doesn't automatically make you what the title that comes along, that the person with that normal title would be doing. That doesn't mean anything. If you go out and stop a person from robbing the bank, does that make you a cop? No. Is you a person that a good Samaritan or whatever the case is? Like, and that's the issue. Like, everybody, gets on these things and starts having opinions and starts doing their internet Googling and stuff, and then all of a sudden wants to start labeling themselves as things and giving themselves titles that they haven't earned or they haven't done the foundational research and traditional education. And it's like, yeah, you can go learn some stuff on YouTube or whatever, but it's not the same as sitting down in a classroom with a person who's been doing this for years and has personal experience and getting actual education on something. Like, yeah, you can do that all you want to, but it's just not going to be the same. And there's a reason why these things have a certain barrier to entry, because doing things doing things your own way and not following a certain set of tried and true, like it's science. It's like it's a certain way to do certain things to achieve a certain thing and be completely competent in something. There's a certain way to do it, and going around it and then just because you get to a certain level of knowledge in this more than the average person, that doesn't make you an expert in the
well, no, not to be an expert. I'm not saying an expert, but I mean,
it doesn't make you anything. You just know a little bit more than the average person.
But what is but the thing is, because I know I was trying, how the right and the left try to, disprove where you're not a journalist or whatever the case, but they said that he had the barest minimum of certificates or certification to be a journalist. And before that story cracked, he did a couple of other stories that got like mild or medium views, but he just did what, or at least what I think is, journalism, what I grew up on.